Good morning, you watchers. So, obviously, everyone has created a name for the viewers of their channels, and I was just thinking, maybe you watchers. I hope I'm not stealing someone else's name, but I mean, think about it: YouTube, you watchers, and you, like you. Okay, a little bit quirky, but yeah, I hope you all like the name. Prince Allen here. It is Monday the 25th, the 23rd. I'm bad with my dates. It's Monday the 23rd of September. It's a holiday. Well, at least it's a public holiday tomorrow. And most people are having their public holidays today, which is really cool. So, braai away, have fun, stay safe. Today I just wanted to sort of like touch on the issue of schooling in South Africa. So, you know how like we had the fees must fall strikes and things like that. It is quite sad to think that with how advanced South Africa is as a nation, we would actually be behind in terms of putting implements in place to make sure that tertiary education or any education in general is easily accessible to its people. So, if you take, for example, Zimbabwe adapted that back in the 90s. Robert Mugabe, the former president, put in place measures to make sure that tertiary education was accessible to its people easily, like free. And you found that a large majority of Zimbabweans became educated and are educated to date. It basically started a trend in the country where tertiary education was just sort of like very important for everyone to achieve, and it became not a far-fetched dream. If we look at the government of Lesotho, they also doing quite well because besides the fact that they educate the people within the country, depending on what you study, they are actually able to educate you outside of the country internationally as well. We actually even saw that here in Pretoria, for example, in Sunnyside, they even have an accommodation complex that they bought and structured so that the students who come from Lesotho can stay in. In South Africa, however, we slowly then now moving to obviously having NSFAS more accessible to people who come from less fortunate homes. However, if you look at the hindering things such as an application process, a simple application process can literally throw you off the idea of education and end up having you sitting at home and probably becoming the next crime statistic. I say this because my personal experience that I've had recently was where it happened before that I had applied to an institution and I wasn't getting any feedback. Now, with that institution, at least when I was calling them, they were always telling me that no, it's pending, pending, pending. Until eventually, when I went there, they told me that no, there was some confusion, hence the pending. This time I applied again to two institutions. The one institution being the University of Johannesburg, and at least their application fee was free. Within 2 days, they were able to accept me and send me all the necessary documents that I needed in order for me to proceed with my admission. I also applied to the Tshwane University of Technology, which was hell because when I initially went there, they told me to apply online. When I did try to do the online application, it told me that I did not qualify for any course, which didn't make sense because at least knowing my results, I should be able to qualify for any arts courses that are offered at a university. I then returned there and they assisted me do a hand application right there at the campus as well as pay the 240 Rand application fee. After that, I didn't get any word back. About a month later, I then drove out there again, only to find out that my application was apparently now in the pending. So I came back. Mind you, that means I've done already 3 drives, right? And I was driving a Mercedes Benz, which is quite a heavy car. So it means that I poured 100 Rand petrol on each journey that I made there. I paid 240 Rand for the application, which means that brings me to 650 Rand. And now I call them on one day. I had to call them 5 times on that particular day, six different numbers, and I wasn't be able to be assisted. I even sent them an email, and no one managed to get back to me. The only email that I got back was to tell me that one of those emails could not assist me with the query that I had, and then Also, when I send them a message on the Facebook page, no one got back to me. Now I'm gonna get serious about this because I mean, look at we're talking about 650 rand that I spent here, but now I'm thinking, what about the general person out there who can't afford such amounts of money? What happens to them? Do they not get thrown off? Is this not the reason why we've got certain issues, such as the crime rate in our country? People being bored at home with nothing to do and end up falling into the wrong things. Because I mean, who would not get deterred? NSFAS and the South African Student Funding Association will not give you money to do applications. They'll not give you money to run around. They'll not give you money for airtime to follow up on your applications. So I really think that this is something as a nation and as a government really needs to be looked into in terms of what can be done to improve this. Just a simple thing as in improving the administration, for example. I mean, 240 rand for an application is not little money. Therefore, I expect to get the service. Anyways, in terms of my case, I'm gonna go back in there and I'm gonna cause a scene. But yeah, let's get the conversation on this. What do you think on the issue that we have with administrations at certain universities, and what other challenges are you facing in terms of education in South Africa and especially tertiary education? Thank you very much. Keep watching my channel, and if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe.